This podcast is part of the No Phony Podcast Network, the home of independent awesomeness.
Welcome back to another episode of On the Road with Jim and Casey. With me, as always, James Morganti.
That's right.
Joining us today, actress, writer, performer, and stilt walker, Precious Chong. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Did I read that right off of your website? You're a stilt walker?
I mean, I haven't walked on stilts in a while, but yes, it is. I was a part of a group called Girls on Stilts for a good portion of my life.
Wow. How do you get into something like that?
Yeah, I know. I kind of fell into it. That's a terrible joke. So I was a dancer.
Yeah.
I was a dancer, and then there's this guy Roy Johns in Los Angeles, and he wanted to start a troupe called Girls on Stilts. So he trained a bunch of us how to walk on stilts and juggle. And this was before, like in the 90s, before like circus became saturated the market. So, you know, we got to do a lot of fun things. We opened for Jane's Addiction at the Hollywood Bowl. Well, we didn't open for them. We performed with them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
So what kind of dancing were you doing? I mean, was it, you know?
Jazz.
Yes, that one.
I did. I mean, I trained as a ballet dancer. Then I went to college, studied English lit. And then like you do when you have an English lit degree, you're like, what do I want to do with my life? And so then I decided I wanted to be a jazz dancer for a while. And I went to Tokyo and danced there. And and then was in some modern dance companies. I mean, acting is hard. Dancing is like even harder.
So if you could do one thing or a couple things, what would they be? Whether you're getting paid, you're super successful, you're wealthy, or you're super poor. What things would you do regardless of the money or the success, fame, the women or men? I always say women, but men or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever I'm into. Yeah, you know, dance is really I still take ballet class. I still love, and I've always loved circus. I like weird vaudeville stuff. So I would say dancing. I follow, most of my Instagram are ballerinas and drag queens. So that's my passion.
So you like their dancing the best? Okay, I got you.
Does that answer your question?
Pretty close. I mean, yeah. So you, how did you get into then? I mean, dancing is kind of like acting. You know, it's kind of like, as a musician, I'm playing a lot. You know, there's a lot of people. You know, it's a lot of interaction. A lot of your face needs to do stuff that people can enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, how did you go from dancing into acting? By the way, you know, we watched a what's it called? What's it?
Screener.
A screening. We had a screening of your Homewrecker. I loved the eyes, and yeah, like he's coming to my. You know, how did you get into that like form of acting from dancing? You know, it was just something like that came natural to you.
Yeah. Well, you know, I grew up in the business. I grew up in Los Angeles. My dad was in the business, my sister. So actually I avoided it. I mean, I did commercials as a kid, and I did dance recitals, but I didn't really want to be an actor because everyone in my family did that. So I wanted to do something different. But then in my mid-20s, I went on my dance audition. My dance agent sent me on an acting audition by mistake, and I was terrible. But I was so exhilarated by it that I was like, this is what I need to do. And everyone in my family was surprised and like not expecting it, because I was more they thought I'd be a writer or something. I was a little more cerebral. I got good grades. So yeah, that's how I fell into it. And I liked my crazy eyes. It's been a blessing and a curse. So
Always a blessing. Okay, trust me. Yeah, like that character. How do you? Not that I'm not saying that that's like, but we all have our hey. I like we're all a little crazy. You know what I mean? Like, how did you? What were you thinking about? Like, was that someone that you kind of knew? Because I was telling Casey, we were watching it last night, and I was like, oh, my ex-girlfriend. I was like, this is gonna happen next. And I'm like, everything that was happening, I'm like, she's gonna, and it's one of those, I love you so much. And then they have you, and you're like, you're mine. Like that, like, wow. Was that something
yeah.
that you knew, or was that did you like have someone that you were thinking about to play that character, or was that just like your interpretation of what a person would be like?
Well, I think it's me exaggerated. So like that scene you're talking about, like my ex has seen that version of me in fights, you know what I mean? So it's interesting because now there's like all this Karen talk, like Karen's being videotaped, being terribly racist and just like losing their shit on virally. And I think there's an element of middle-aged white woman rage that I tapped into that I think is very, underneath the surface. And no, I didn't base her on any person. I just kind of took the parts of me that are like that and kind of just blew them up, exaggerated them.
You truly know yourself. Very good.
Well, I mean, I feel comfortable in the crazy. Like, I feel comfortable in the weird, quirky, character-y parts. That's where I feel most free, I guess, as an actor.
You like tapping into that, like, joke being on the road with Casey all day. Like, I love acting dumb. I mean, like, 'cause you can't really do that. I can't like really like, like people don't get like, or if there's like a cute dog, I'm just like, and I'm like being dumb. People don't get that, like
Right.
it's only, but if you can like put it in the right spot of a movie,
Exactly.
like I think that's like such a cool thing, and I like that the best about it was your character. It was like funny. It was really funny at the right spot. So.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank
it
you.
was definitely like a quirky movie too, in a way.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. I mean, very entertaining.
Thank you. I'm glad you did. Yeah. We had a lot of fun making it.
Yeah, why don't you tell people a little more about the movie? It's called Homewrecker, and it comes out pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I think it's getting a theatrical release. I'm not sure how or what that's going to look like maybe some drive-ins. It's coming out like I think early July 7th or 4th, something like that. Sorry, I should know that. They said June 27th was one date, but I think it's been pushed back to for theatrical release is July 3rd. And then there'll be DVDs and streamers. You can stream it like early July.
Is this like your type of favorite? I think everyone has like a character, like Jack Nicholson. He said, I remember this. It stuck with me. Let wardrobe do the act. Like he said, let wardrobe do the acting, right? And so, just be yourself. And like, what kind of movies or characters do you like to play? You like the quirky ones, like you like these kind of horror-ish, funny, like Sam Raimi in a way. Kind of like character, you know what I mean? Like, do you like that type of direction in movies as like a character like that, or can you do it like do you like get like all of it?
Well, I wasn't planning on doing like a horror genre, like comedy. I love comedy. The horror part was something that Zach, the director, brought to it and pitched me on it, and I love the idea. I wanted to work with Alex. We wanted to work together, and it was one location, and so all of those things appealed to me. And then in terms of like things I loved Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. That's like one of my all-time favorite movies with Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. And that sort of like weird, like almost over the top acting, but it's not over the top, but like Betty Davis is like just crazy and grotesque, and I kind of dug that. And then so yeah, I'm kind of drawn to like weird. Night of the Hunter was one thing that we liked. Have you seen that movie? It's really amazing. I just saw it recently. It's so good. So yeah, I like old genre, weird, quirky stuff. And then 80s nostalgia was fun. It was fun to sort of blend all the genres together. Cause you know, I'm a product of the 80s. So it was fun to revisit all that stuff with a twist, you know, with a modern twist. So it's like a dark comedy, feminist horror movie. That's what I like to call it.
Yeah, it's really great. We really enjoyed it. I actually watched it twice.
Oh wow, thank you.
So I heard you mention you really like comedies and stuff. You also do you do stand up as well?
I do. I mean, you know, not now because we're in quarantine. Actually, I did a Zoom show on Saturday. I do stand up. I teach stand up. I did a lot of sketch over the years. Yeah, so I do like comedy. But I feel like sometimes I'm a little like Homewrecker was a good fit for me because I have I usually in mainstream I get cast more of like more sincere like crying woman, or I get beat up a lot, or you know, bad things happen to me. So that's, you know, but then I also like comedy, so this was a good match. Bad things happen to me and you get to laugh.
So the tears of a clown when no one's hey, I think everyone makes up like our past and what's happened in our lives. I don't know what's happened to you. I mean, everything that's like, you know, relationships I've been in. I've been single for 8 years, by the way. But anyway, things that have happened to me. It's almost like it kind of like you can shape situations better when, you know, you've been around, you know, people that you might think are a little crazy when all you said is, you know, like, you look great, you gained 8 pounds, you know, or something like innocent or whatever. You know, I think those crazy people and in our lives are all like the weird stuff that happens, right? Obviously, like no pain, no gain, right? No, I mean, you can't just be like, yay all the time, right? I'm like, is someone gonna, you know, punch me directly in the face sometime? I mean, come on, you know, you need that. You got to have the balance, right?
I think what are you trying to say? Like you use the pain to create art?
Yes.
or I love weird people, like characters. I love interesting, bizarre, interesting people are very intriguing to me. I want to know what their story is, and want to know what happened to them. You know, of course, we all aspire to have like a cool Instagram Kardashian lifestyle, but
That's fake.
But do we?
Right. I just want to be, you know, just be you. You know what I mean? I'm with you. Like, I like seeing people that are complete opposite from me, like totally opposite. And like, I'm just like, huh, wow. Okay. Because you know why? Because anybody can go like this. Hey, 2 + 2 = 4, right? Yeah. All right. Well, see you later. And then, no, I want someone to be like, you know, it might not be 4. And I'm like, huh. According to, you know, what I know, it is. And, you know, because that to me makes you like just grow a little bit outside of your own, you know, reality, even though, you know, you could be like, I'm pretty sure it's 4. And they're like, yes, but what's the fastest way to 4? I don't know why I'm using 2 + 2 = 4. Right?
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Right. I mean, maybe it's my childhood. I grew up in an interesting family. I like quirky. We never were normal. I mean, my name is Precious, so like.
It's a wonderful name, by the way.
I read your full name in an interview I was reading. Tell us your full name.
My full name is Precious Shelby Lorna Flosina Chong Fittis, because my parents weren't technically married when I was born, and my I was their love child, and they just went a little nuts on the birth certificate. And Precious, they named me Precious because they didn't have a girl's name. They used to call my dad used to call my mom Precious when she was pregnant with me, and they were hippies. And then Shelby is my mom's name. Lorna and Flossina are my Flossina. Like, there's no normal names. Like, there's no name that I could use. They're all weird. And then Fittis is my mom's maiden name.
When they were coming up with your name, was it one of those arguments that couples get into, Kevin, that I really think Sheila is going to be a good name for her? And he's like, now, wait a minute, Millie. I'm just coming up with names here. Well, you knew that I wanted my mom's name of, Lorna to be in there. And so, oh yeah, well, we're having all of them now. And they're like, yeah, we're doing it. Was it just like like this?
A standoff?
No,
actually it was, I mean, that's a better story, but the real reason was, my mom says that she was so in love with my dad at the time that, whatever he said was the thing. And my dad was pretty eccentric and was like, let's give her all the names. And so,
nice.
They gave me all the names.
I
mean, yeah, go ahead. What were we going to say?
No, you go ahead.
Oh, it wasn't interesting.
Okay. So you said growing up, your childhood, you had an interesting childhood with who your parents were.
Yeah.
So your dad is Tommy Chong.
Yeah.
So was it like growing up, he's like one of the most famous potheads in the world. So was it like, as a kid, like when he would come to get you at school, was it like embarrassing, or was it, were you like the cool kid because Tommy Chong was your dad?
Yeah. It was both. I mean, I grew up in LA, so there were a lot of famous people around me, like Lisa Marie Presley was in my class for a while. So, Elvis is way more famous. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all relative. But I remember one time, well, my dad got kicked out of Disneyland when he was a hippie.
Wow.
For
being a hippie, for having long hair.
they're like, you hippies, really?
Get
Wow.
out. Wow. So yeah, that's how it was. So, and then it was good and bad. Like, sometimes people loved the idea, like Chong's daughter was like, do you get high with your dad? You're so cool. And it's your parents, so it's cool, but it's also like, oh my God, I want to be different from my parents. You need to rebel in one way or the other, right? But I had one teacher see my dad's movie and get very upset. I think he was Christian, and he got really upset with me. He was very offended by the movie.
Blaming you for for your parents, whatever they are. We have the ability. I'm just going to speak here. We're not of the bloodline of. I mean, yes, we are have a bloodline. We do, but
yeah.
Scientifically, we're connected to the Almighty, right? So we can do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we're not attached. Like, so you can create your own thing, right? I mean, yeah, we have maybe stuff from them, maybe our DNA memories, and we sometimes dream. I'm having these weird dreams sometimes in Italy, but that could happen. But we're not where we come from, and we can be too. So it can go both ways,
Yeah, I thought that was really weird that he took it out, like his anger about my father's basically fictional movie and characters were offensive to him. And he took it out on me, and I was like 11 or 12, and I was like, this is bullshit, Oh, sorry, I don't know if I could swear, but like, this is, this isn't cool. Like, even then I knew as a kid, I was like, you're messed up, dude.
You tell him last time I checked, this is America.
Yeah.
Right.
But, honestly, then years later, my dad gets busted, for selling bongs or water pipes, and the federal government used his character against him, saying like he, I think Mary Beth Buchanan was like, you've use this character to sell to make drugs seem cool. I can't think of the way she used it, but like basically saying like he's made a living out of glamorizing drug use.
Right.
Yeah, they totally framed your dad too for that, all that.
Oh, I know. It was pretty crazy. Don't mess with the federal government, guys. Don't do it.
Would people like ever come by your house and throw stuff, hippies, or like, you're just like walking with your dad, hey dad, let's go get, and like out of nowhere somebody throws a milkshake at you and you're like, what? And they're like, go back to Czechoslovakia, or
He's not fan of that.
oh yeah, okay.
Go back to Calgary. No, I mean most people are like cool. Like, the great thing about my dad is like people either don't know who he is or love him so much they're like, it's like seeing Santa Claus. So he's a really good star, especially now. He's like reached sort of an icon status. So it's like, whoa, it's Chong. It's like very mythical almost. And he really lives up to his image. He gives out like weed all the time now that it's legal as tips when he's at restaurants. He's just
Awesome. How could you not like Tommy Chong?
what?
How could you not like Tommy Chong?
Exactly.
So let's get a little bit back into your career. So you, as a kid, did you always want to be an actress as a growing up as a child?
No, not really. I mean, I was always around it, but I did commercials as a kid, and but I wasn't. I thought I was going to be a writer. That's really what thought I wanted to do. And I still write a lot. Like obviously I co-wrote Homewrecker, but I also love acting because I like to collaborate. And writing can be too lonely. I need a little of both, But no, like I said, I wanted to be a ballerina when I was younger.
I just love when people say, I mean, it's so, I just wanted to be a ballerina, and now I see why, it's so precious, it's just, but it is though, I mean, it's very, because you go to see a ballerina. I wish I could ballet
dance.
Yes, ballet dance. I'm so my mobility is so terrible. I mean, I'm still trying to work out. I'm, trying to do something right. You know what I mean?
It kind of looks like you're wearing a leotard, I have to say.
I have to, it shows my pecs off. I was reading this article. You have to, show what you have when you're single. And, do you think I like having to do this? I actually work out. I was just telling Casey, no, I remember somebody else. I got a little tipsy the other night, but I don't work out for, how people are like, work out for you, bro. Don't do it for other people. Work out for yourself. And I was thinking, I was like, hey, I'm not that selfish. I want to work out for you because I don't want you to look at some blithering, fat guy. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking about that the other day, not to get off topic of being a ballerina or anything.
No.
But I mean, you seem very fit. You eat. I'm assuming you eat healthy because you had hippie parents. Organic. Vegetarian, vegan.
Well, no, not a vegetarian, vegan, but we ate pretty healthy. There was a lot of carob going on when I was younger. That was like a carob. There was a fake chocolate in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. But yeah, my dad always worked out. People assumed that he did a lot of drugs, which he did, I think, but he smoked pot, did hallucinogens, but I don't think he was really into like the heavy drugs. So I think that helped him, stay sane.
Right. What's your weekly like workout? Like what gets you going during the week? Like not workout, but like what's your routine that you need to do? Like for me, it's just wake up. I usually look at the mirror. I'm not, maybe yours is different. I look at the mirror. I usually flex. I'm pretty much, not dressed or anything because I like to see everything. And I, do the teeth brush, the hair thing. Tell myself I'm good enough. And then I, coffee right away. No breakfast. Wait till like 1 p.m.
Ooh, intermittent fasting. Are you doing that?
Yeah. You don't want me to take my shirt off right now.
I try to do the intermittent fasting. I'm also because we're in quarantine, I usually go to ballet class or I go to classes. But I've been doing Chris. This is not I'm not being paid, but I got Chris Hemsworth's app, Center. It's the jam. I do these workouts.
He has I didn't know that he had an. Okay.
Yeah, it's CENTR. My friend told me about it. And they have daily workouts and also meal plans. It's pretty awesome. So I've been doing that. I meditate every day. I have this. You want to know my routine?
Go. Yeah.
I use this thing. It's called Muse, MUSE, and you wear it on your head and it measures your heart rate. And when you go into like a more meditative state, little birds chirp, so it counts how many times you're going into the meditative state. So it collect. Yeah.
What?
It's
Okay.
amazing.
Do you do you ever listen to? I've done guided sometimes. I don't really like it because I feel like I'm under some sort of telekinetic control. And anyone that watches our show, telekinesis runs in my family. So I listen to 5.83 hertz when if I'm like praying. I get deep in prayer, meditation, and do you listen to like sound waves?
No, but I've heard about that. I want to do so. What's that? I don't know what that is.
5.83 is the Schumann frequency. So apparently, this is what they say. It's in some of those esoteric, occultic texts, which occult only means hidden from the eye. It doesn't mean some stuff can be used for evil for sure, but if you understand it, hey, Jesus. All right. Anyway, 5.83 is supposedly the spoken word of existence that God spoke. You know how it's all frequency, vibration? That's sound. All the ancients said there was a word that was spoken, and it's 5.83 hertz. Just type. It'll come up. Schumann frequency. Type it in YouTube or anything. It's on Spotify. It'll have.
So what's Schumann? How do you spell that?
SCHUMANN. I think 2 N's, double N.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out. That sounds cool.
And let me know what you think, because I've done it before. I like it. You can find, there's some in the 9 range too, the 9 frequency range that are really good too. But that one I liked. But yeah, I'm all about listening. I don't really like words in music sometimes. I just want.
Yeah, the Muse, the thing that you have different settings that you can use. There's I think it's drums. It's not too invasive. I know what you mean.
Ooh,
it's
yeah.
pretty good.
Right. No, I think
It's
drums
pretty
are good too. It does. Do you ever fall asleep to it too, and then you start having weird dreams?
Well, I've been having the weirdest dreams since we've been in this weird. Yeah, I have weird dreams. What are you? Have you both been having weird dreams?
No.
Sleep paralysis.
I smoke too much pot to have dreams.
Oh yeah, you're one of those. Same with my boyfriend does that too. He's like, I haven't dreamt in 20 years.
I don't do anything. I'll drink occasionally. I'm trying to, do everything, be totally, like I'm already there, I fall asleep. I get DMT in my brain already. We get it when we lucid dream. But I've been having sleep paralysis. That's interesting you said that. I've had about 3 of them ever since the shutdowns happened. And, we have dominion over the spirits that we can pray them away, because they're just trying to make you have fear. Did you ever have sleep paralysis when it's this it's something right here that's going to devour your head, and I'm
can't move.
Sleeping in maybe some girl's house I met that night at the bar accidentally, and they just brought me home. And I'm like this. I'm like, there's something there, and I can't move. And I'll just be I'll pray out it, and then I'm literally freed from their clutches of chains of copper. And I'm just I've never had that before until quarantine happened. I was telling you that actually. Yeah. Have you ever?
That's crazy. No, I haven't. I know I've heard about it. I've seen stuff about it, but I've had lucid dreaming though, which I love.
Okay.
So when I'm dreaming, I love it when I all of a sudden I'm aware that I'm dreaming, and then in my dream I've gone around to tell people, I'm like, guys, we're dreaming. We can do anything.
Yes!
Like, we can. This is a dream.
Do you start making out with shit?
Yes. I get to do anything, and
Yes.
I'm trying to get everybody around me to be like, this is crazy. We're in a dream.
Yes. No, every time I'm in a dream, this sounds terrible, but I'm just like, really hot chick right now. Bam, she's right there. And all of a sudden I'm just like mowing down, with like just, and I'm, I'm trying to be good these days. I try to stay fairly celibate, I'm long past are the days, playing music and having girls rip my pants off on stage. But as soon as I've lucid dreamed already, where I was flying, totally flying. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I knew I was.
And you kick, and you can just like.
Sometimes that happens, but I'm saying this is a weird dream. It was literally, I was like, boom. And I was flying. Actually, I had to save humanity from these robots that were eating people for some reason. Flying, and I remember flying over this water, and I was like reaching down, and I was like, the water, underneath my head. And it was the most amazing feeling. And I woke up completely sore, like I did 100 pull-ups, and I was so just like sore all over the place.
Ooh, that's weird.
When you lucid dream, that releases DMT in your body. That's your body's natural DMT source is lucid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and if you can do it a lot, it's just very healthy for your well-being, your endorphin, everything in your body. I love getting weird naturally. I mean,
yeah.
But I mean that's so like this quarantine, I feel like it's made us all kind of like jump out to do something different. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take, like everyone's like, oh, what's it called? The silver lining. Yeah, I mean, that's easy, but like really, like maybe there's something great that can happen right now while we're all enslaved in our own homes, imprisoned, and let's try to do something great out of it. You know what I mean? Like try to make some, like workouts at home that you never thought you could do, or maybe meditate more, pray more, or I don't know, learn to climb up a wall. I don't know. Okay, maybe not climb up a wall, but
I know what you're saying. I mean, I think like I was joking, but it's kind of true. Like doing all this Zoom stuff, because I've been teaching on Zoom too. It's like we're literally forced to look at ourselves literally more, and like it's just time to like kind of go inside and reflect. And I think the world is like kind of, I don't want to say crumbling, but it definitely, there's like a reset that's happening. The structures, right? The normal structures have literally are starting to like fall away, which for good reason. I mean, I hope we rebuild it and it's better.
So you're ready for the spaceship to come back? I mean, I don't know.
I'm getting ready.
I mean, hey, I'm waiting. There's going to be something new that's happening. I can feel it, just because we just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, we're all human. We're all flawed.
Well, I think I think the reason that there's all these protests and that there's people like Black Lives Matter has become, in the forefront of people's minds. And I think, and all of these issues is because people have time now. And the way our society was working and the capitalism is like, you were constantly like just hustling and just trying to survive. And because we got to step back, I think it's really like, everyone's like, no, this isn't working for us anymore. We want a do-over or a reset or something better. I don't know. Didn't mean to get deep on you guys.
Yeah, well, no, I talk about that all the time. Like, most people are like, okay, well, once I have all this money and once I have all these things, or once I feel this way, I'm not going to feel like a piece of garbage or that I'm lacking something, or in some way they're feeling, just lacking or some way, feeling of oppression, like not worthy enough, all these depression feelings. That's a spirit. In every ancient text I've read, every single one, all of them are like, oh, the feelings of possession, of demon possession, of spiritual influenza, COVID, influenza. We're being influenced. All these people that were like, oh, I'm so depressed, I'm dumb, or I'm so smart and I'm so depressed, or it's a spirit, right? Get that spirit out of you, right? And don't do things for all these material, oh man, I just want that Gucci Louis Vuitton belt so bad. Or why can't I have this nice car and pounds of women around me all the time in that pool? It's open, by the way. Like
what pool is open? You have a
well,
pool?
we're in a
in your-
hotel here at where are we?
Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are in Ohio?
Yeah.
Where in Ohio?
Fairborn, I think. I don't know. I travel for work, so I'm pretty sure we're in Fairborn right now.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe I invited him with me for the week? I have to deal with this for 4 days straight.
I was making car ride fun.
Yeah, real fun. Well, Shelby, I'm sorry, Precious. We don't want to take up too much more of your time. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find all of your good work and when the movie's coming out, where they can find that, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So right now it's showing as part of the Calgary Underground Film Festivals, and that's online. So you could check out the festival. It's amazing. So Calgary Underground Film Festival, and then July 3rd, we're having a theatrical release, and then July 7th, Homewrecker will be streaming on different services. I don't know the one specifically, but I'm assuming like all the ones that you usually get your stuff from. And you can get a DVD, and we did like extras on the DVD, and the art is really crazy and fun and throwbacky. And yeah, I really hope you guys all check it out. It's really one of those things, one of those projects that if enough people tell enough people, hopefully it'll become something.
Yeah, I from seeing it twice, I believe in the future it's going to be a cult classic. It's
Oh, good.
Really good.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
I would
It's
recommend it.
thank you.
And do you have a website or anything anybody can find you at? Twitter, Instagram?
I'm on Twitter, at Precious Chong, and Instagram, Precious Shelby Chong, because guys, there's another Precious Chong. She got my Instagram. She's like, I think she's in her 20s now, but she's from Hawaii.
Okay.
She got the Gmail address and the Instagram. So yeah, Precious Shelby Chong, and Homewrecker the movie is on Instagram. And I haven't kept up my website, so sorry.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was great talking to you guys. You guys are really fun, and stay safe and have fun in Ohio.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.